Good morning. You might be able to tell that we didn't turn over the soil yesterday. Basically, we decided it's just far too wet. And that brings me to my topic today, the soil. That's something I don't think I appreciated when I first started doing this project on the allotment. Uh, I planned all sorts of vegetables. First, I knew to start with the things that we eat. Like, I knew not to bother growing celery because we don't use it in the house, even though it probably would grow decently in the soil. I also did a lot of research on companion planting, things that would bring good insects to the garden and be beneficial to its companions. And that's what led me to growing quite a few flowers last year. However, it seems the flowers were prolific. They grew very well, and a lot of my vegetables just didn't. And upon further research, we have very clay soil. So the potatoes did very well. Brassicas grew, but they just were overrun by insects, even though we tried to do companion planting. So I don't think we're going to do brassicas this year. But what else might we be doing? And so I brought a prop. I use several apps to help me garden, and I know that this is going to read backwards. So I'll point to the two apps that I use mostly. This is called Veggie Garden, and this one is called Planter. So Veggie Garden looks like this. I think I did pay for this one. It was like a one-time fee of maybe $3. So that didn't cost very much. And basically what it enables me to do is list all my vegetables, all the vegetables that I grew last year: basil, beetroot, bok choy, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. I mean, I grew loads and loads, and saw very little of it. Very little. Raspberry. We have raspberries. I think we got a few raspberries, mainly I think because of the dry weather. Sunflowers. People admired our sunflowers, but they didn't grow as tall as they grew in my back garden. What was that about? I imagine again it was the dryness and the clay soil. Tomatoes were fantastic. They were great. We tried Swiss chard, but I think I tried them too late. They're still growing, so they must like the clay. I think I just, like I said, planted them too late. So we're going to see if the ones that are living will continue to live. And then spinach, that's still growing. Rosemary is still growing. Rhubarb, I grew in my greenhouse in my backyard. Peas did not grow well, even though it says it's good for clay. Onions did not grow well. Green beans did grow well. Coriander did grow well. Chives, I'm going to say it again. If you have any suggestions for chives, please help. Bok choy is still growing, as you saw, so that did go well. And basil grew well. So that was a very useful app. And then I can create a plan with this app. And what's helpful about this app is that you can compare what you did last year to this year and then the following years to make sure you're not growing on top of things that shouldn't have that growth. So for example, on my plan for this year, I can see I'm growing some green beans, loads and loads of green beans because they were prolific. So we'll be growing them along this edge here, right close to me. And there's only a small area where something we grew last year doesn't like it. So I'm not too worried about that small area. Beetroot, bok choy, basically we're just doing much larger chunks. And so this is a really helpful app. Unfortunately, it doesn't really help me visualize. It plans way too many vegetables. Like I wouldn't have that many carrots in a row. I'd have a lot, but it's only 3 feet wide, so I wouldn't have that many. The next app I want to show you, I have too many things open, is Planter, and that's the one where it helps me really understand how my design is going to look. And it kind of looks pretty as well. So I can put the size of my allotment. My allotment is 20 foot by 40 foot, which I think is approximately maybe 6 by 12 meters. It's a large plot for an allotment in my view. So this helps me visualize. And I know it won't look like this. I was warned by many people last year, and it's true, it doesn't, mainly because they don't all grow. But if I can plan for filling in spaces and then also plan for succession growing, so like I won't try to grow all of these beets at once, but I might grow 2 rows and then another 2 rows and then another row and then replant after they're harvested. That might give me a better result. And then we're going to have these walking paths. Last year we covered our walking paths with some kind of cheap membrane, and it did rot towards the end of the season, so we pulled it up. We might end up using it again. We don't really love it, but at least if we can pull it up in time, it doesn't seep into the soil. There's lots of things recommended online, but we're reluctant. We're reluctant to put harsh things into the soil, but we also don't want to be slip sliding everywhere. That's not healthy either. So that's something we're still considering. But for the moment, I think that's where I'm going to leave it for today. Happy growing and enjoy this warmer weather while you can.